A Premier League club's announcement has just created a massive problem for Celtic's manager search, and the dominoes are starting to fall fast. We've also got a question over whether the man who has kept Celtic in the title race could stick around beyond this season, a top pundit casting doubt over one of Celtic's best performers, and a former legend handing out his Player of the Year verdict. A big one today. Let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Austin Trusty has been named in the SPFL Team of the Week after another important display in Celtic's 1-0 win over St Mirren on Saturday, and the recognition is fully deserved after a performance that helped the Hoops grind out a vital 3 points. It was not a comfortable afternoon at Celtic Park. The Hoops only managed the one goal, scored by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain early in the game, and could not find the second that would have made things easier. That left the defence with a significant amount of work to do as the game wore on, and St Mirren pressed hard for an equaliser. That is exactly where Trusty stood up and delivered. The American centre-back, on the right side of the defensive pairing, was composed and commanding throughout. He racked up 102 passes in the game with 99 of them completed, managed 11 passes into the final third, and cleared the ball 4 times when Celtic needed it most. His numbers underline just how influential he was in keeping the clean sheet, Celtic's first in 9 games. It has been a stop-start season for Trusty, with suspension and other disruptions keeping him out at various points, but he is building real momentum at exactly the right time. With the run-in underway and a World Cup on home soil in the United States on the horizon, Trusty has every reason to be pushing hard for his best form. Celtic are going to need that level of display from their leaders between now and the end of the campaign. Now, for the main story, as a major announcement from AFC Bournemouth has created a significant knock-on problem for Celtic's managerial search, and it could narrow the club's options considerably if they do not move quickly. Bournemouth manager Andoni Iraola is set to leave the South Coast club at the end of the season. He has been linked with Celtic in the past, but any realistic hope of him heading to Glasgow looks slim. Reports from Spain suggest he is targeting either a bigger Premier League role or a return home, with Athletic Bilbao emerging as a strong possibility. That effectively takes him off the table for Celtic, but the more pressing concern is who replaces him at Bournemouth, because that list is full of names Celtic fans know very well. According to The Athletic, Kieran McKenna is reportedly high on Bournemouth's shortlist. McKenna was heavily linked with Celtic during their search to replace Brendan Rodgers last year, but a move never came together due to complications around timing and release clauses. If he now heads to the Premier League with Bournemouth, that door closes permanently for Celtic. The Sun have also reported that Marco Rose, another name previously connected to the Celtic job, is also in the running for the Bournemouth position. The message here is stark. As clubs across Europe begin making their moves for the summer, Celtic's shortlist is shrinking before they have even made an appointment. Every week that passes without a decision is a week that a target could be locked down by someone else. The pressure on Dermot Desmond and the board to move now has never been greater. In other news, a fascinating question has emerged around Martin O'Neill's future at Celtic, with growing discussion about whether the club's interim manager should remain involved beyond the end of this season in some capacity. Back-to-back wins have dragged Celtic back to within 3 points of top spot heading into the split. Given everything that has gone wrong this season, the fact they are still in the title race at all is largely down to O'Neill steadying the ship after coming in during one of the club's most turbulent periods in recent memory. Speaking on the Record Celtic podcast, journalist Ryan MacDonald addressed the question of what comes next for O'Neill directly. He said, "He has bundles of energy. He clearly missed management. I think he's loving being back in it. There is the prospect of rebuilding the team from scratch. If you're going to do that, you need to have a manager who's prepared to be here for 2 or 3 years minimum. Is Martin O'Neill going to be the man who's able to do that? I'm not so sure. I think you need somebody to come in, buy players for the long term, and build from there. He's an expert in the game. I think there could be a role potentially upstairs in some sort of capacity, like an advisory role, which he actually put forward. Celtic let him go in December. I don't think they can afford to do it again." That is a really interesting take. At 74, the idea of O'Neill taking on a full multi-year rebuild feels unlikely, but that does not mean he needs to disappear from the picture. He knows the club inside out, understands the demands of managing at Celtic Park, and has shown he can settle a dressing room when things are going wrong, an advisory role keeping him involved behind the scenes while a younger head coach leads the rebuild could actually make a lot of sense. Celtic cannot afford another false start in the dugout. In other news, Chris Sutton has cast doubt on whether Celtic midfielder Benjamin Nygren has what it takes to make the step up to the English Premier League, despite the Swede putting together an impressive goal-scoring season. Nygren has hit 19 goals across all competitions this season, which is a remarkable return for a midfielder in a Celtic side that has often struggled for attacking rhythm. That output has understandably sparked talk of interest from clubs in England, with reports linking him to Premier League sides ahead of the summer. Sutton is not convinced. Speaking on the warm-up, he said, "That's where I would be sceptical. I don't think he has the dynamism for the Premier League. He has a wonderful instinct for his movement in the box and where it's going to land, a nice left foot and a good finisher. I am not so sure. Just personally, I would have liked to have played with him. It is a fair debate. The goals are undeniably there, and Nygren's ability to arrive in the right areas at the right moment is something you cannot coach." But Sutton's point about dynamism is one that has come up before. Nygren is not the kind of midfielder who dominates physically or drives the tempo over long periods. He is at his most dangerous when the ball is in front of him and the box is close. Whether that translates to the Premier League is a genuine question. What Celtic can take comfort from is that his contract runs until 2030, so there is no pressure to sell. Any club serious about signing him would have to come with a genuinely compelling offer, and Celtic would be well within their rights to hold firm. Lastly, Celtic legend Frank McAvenny has given a blunt and honest assessment of where Celtic are this season, but within that, he has also identified the one player he believes has genuinely stepped up and improved more than anyone else in the squad. McAvenny did not sugarcoat his view of Celtic's overall situation. Speaking to Clyde SSB, he said, "Nobody's scared of Celtic anymore. That's the biggest problem. Every team's having a go at them. They're used to playing the halfway line, and they're playing at the edge of the box now. The game's opened up because there's a lot of space, whereas Callum McGregor used to play across the halfway line and in the opposition half and dictate the play. There's nobody there now, it's only Callum because we need him going forward." That is a damning but accurate summary. The control and domination that defined Celtic in their best recent seasons has slipped significantly, and McAvenny is not the first person to point it out. When teams no longer fear you, they push higher, press more aggressively, and suddenly the spaces are appearing in dangerous areas. But within all of that, McAvenny did single out one genuine bright spot. He said Hyunjun Yang is the most improved player this year, and that he believes there is still more to come from him. The South Korean winger has made 40 appearances across all competitions and has 10 goal contributions to his name this season. He was bright, direct, and lively in Saturday's win over St Mirren, and when Celtic's better spells have come this season, Yang driving at defenders has often been behind them. It is a small positive in a season of wider frustrations, but with the run-in here and big games coming thick and fast, Celtic will need every one of their players at their best. McAvenny has made it clear who he thinks is heading in the right direction. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.